Guys, gals, everything between, welcome back to another weekly episode of Asian horror movies you must watch this week for May 28th, 2020. I am joined once again by my co host Kai Kai. Say hello.
Hello.
And out of the ones we're going to be reviewing, I think there was a 20 again this week. Did you manage to see them all, or you have any to catch up on this weekend?
I think I've saw them all. Not that I remember every single one. I try my best.
Yeah, so between the American ones the other day and now these ones, you got a lot to watch constantly, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to start with the first one, which is called Ghost Game from Thailand, which always makes great horror movies. This one's about Ghost Game tells a story of 11 contestants who sign up for a scary reality show which forces them to confront the supernatural and their innermost fears. What do you have on this, and how was it?
I think this one has its scary moments, but overall it relies too much on just jump scares. Because I think the setting of this movie is in a prison, right?
Yes.
So it just let me see. Okay, so but I think the premise of this movie is a prison. So it's like I think the opening is used by a reality TV show where those people have to stay inside this place until they're voted out. But it came. I mean, it didn't really scare me. It did creep me out a little bit, but it didn't really scare me. And like overall, the atmosphere is good, but it's just I didn't get scared. So overall, I think it's watchable, but just not too. It's not like a very strong horror movie from Thailand. Even that, like you said, Thailand has a lot of great horror movies. So they're just so.
And I think this one only got about like 4.8 out of 10 as far as reviews go, like the voting for it. So I think this one might be a little better. It's called 9981, which I'm assuming means September 9, 1981. A bride-to-be jumps to her death after becoming convinced that a tragic accident has claimed the life of her groom-to-be. But the end of her life is the beginning of the story where her groom-to-be is alive and his false death turns out to be his and her best friend's plan to get rid of her. What happens here?
I think this one is good for low-budget movies. I mean, if you have like a low-budget movies, you have all kinds of issues like lousy acting, the scenes that should have done better, and plots that could have used some work. But I still want to give credit to this movie, even with my few complaints. I think the makeup effects were not that cheesy, even though they need a little bit of polishing up. The actors were really trying their hardest to make this a decent movie. And it's creepy rather than scary, but the atmosphere was really adding to the effect. I don't think this one is a top movie, but it's a really, really good B movie. So I encourage people to give it a chance.
Yeah, this one also got just about a better rating than the last one, but not by much, 5.5 out of 10. So I guess...
Where did you find those scores?
The voting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Internet Movie Database, IMDb.
Okay.
But still, 5.5 is nothing to really like write home about. But if you're a fan of these kind of movies, I guess it would still be passable, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next one is also from Thailand, and this one's called Keep Running, Sir, Yes, Sir, from 2015. In a third-year military course at Khao Chang Kai, two groups of military students are trying to dominate each other. There were many conflicts and bullies between them since they were at their high school. At their practice on the field, they always make trouble, causing their mentors to punish their entire company. Other than the conflicts between the two gangs, there seemed to be a mystery along the military course, especially at nighttime. Is it is it a zombie, or what's going on here?
Actually, I watched this movie under the title of Zombie Soldier. So
Yeah, there's a couple of titles for it. Keep
Uh-huh.
Running, Sir, Yes, Sir. Keep Running, Zombie Soldier, and the one you said.
And strangely, there was no zombies in this movie at all.
Oh, there isn't?
And I mean, other than that, it's just like very, very average type of horror movie. It's like there's some humor in it, but maybe that's because I don't speak in Thai, so I don't actually get those jokes. And also, I think supernatural characters in these movies are all ghosts, so no zombie, and they aren't very scary. Even though apparently everyone else thinks that they're terrifying, those ghosts, because you get tons of shots of them running around screaming. So no actual real horror elements for me. It's just like a horror comedy type of movie. So I would say pass this one.
Yeah, and of the three we just reviewed so far, this one got the lowest rating of the three, 4.3 out of 10.
Wow.
But you know what though? I mean, even people's reviews is everybody's different, right? Like you might give a movie a 2 out of 10. I might give it an 8. So I don't know how much we can really go by the ratings on IMDb. But the next one is one I'm gonna want to really watch. It's called Roadkill from 2019, and yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
Korean.
oh, I had no idea.
You have.
This one, anyway, as I was saying, this one looks really good. It's about Oh Guang is vicious real estate broker. One day he gets into an accident while driving on a mountain path. 2 days later, he wakes up. Oh Guang finds himself at the home of Mr. Jiang, which is located deep in the mountain. Oh Guang was saved by Mr. Jiang's family. The family consists of Mr. Jiang, his wife Yan He, son Hyun Seok, and daughter Soo Hee. They are very nice to Oh Guang, but something about the family is suspicious. The family might be hiding something from Oh Guang. Definitely got to check this out, but let's hear your review about it.
Okay, this one is really good. Surprisingly, from my mouth, right?
I'm almost in like a deep shock here.
Because I would say that most of the South Korean horror movies and thrillers, they're really good at making those plots unpredictable, if you know what I mean. Like Oh Boy, Mother, that kind of movies. Is that whenever you watch those type of movies, you feel like you already know the story, but it always end up otherwise. I think they're just really, really good at that. And this one's one of those type of movies. Of course, I'm not going to tell you like the end or something, but like you said, this one is really good. And it's also not too slow paced or not too fast. So give you extra time to think what's going on, when you watch.
And so far of the four, you would definitely say that this is the one to watch first, right?
Yeah.
The next one from 1988 is called Bless This House, and I think this one's from Hong Kong, so needless to say, get ready for an amazing review about it. But basically, building designer Bill Chang and his family move into a seemingly wonderful house after getting a promotion. However, they were not aware of the house's sinister past involving its previous owner, an abusive handicapped actor who torched his home, killing him, his wife, and 2 daughters. After the Chang family settled in, the actor's restless ghost wants to reclaim ownership of the house and the people that inhabit it. Now, just before you give the review, just remember that we want to try to keep this video around 1 hour in length. So don't praise it for 3.5 hours like you like to do. Okay, go ahead.
I won't. But can I actually say the title in Cantonese? This one? What's this
Of course,
house?
go ahead.
It's called Mang Guai Fat Tiu Chow. Okay, you won't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, I see here that it says MENG is the first word, then GUI, Mangguai Fo Kwang or something. Yeah.
So I think this one's like one of the more scarier comedy horror films from Hong Kong, because at that time I remember the 80s they're so into those type of movies, but this one I think is one of the more scarier than these movies from that genre. So, um, the acting's pretty good. The music is catchy. The plot is the plot is okay and has a little bit of scary moments. And I do like them making those ghost parts, the ghost scenes, which slowly graduates as the family are living in the house. The longer you just get that frightening, bone-chilling thing. It's like you almost forget that you are actually watching a comedy movie because, like I said, it's a comedy and a horror movie. So
it's
but it's great.
got a bit of both.
But the only issues that I have with this one is the scenes with the battle scene at the end is kind of on the short side. Other than that, I think this one is pretty exciting. And yeah, go check that out if you are into Hong Kong movie like from the 80s.
Yeah, it does seem pretty interesting, and the storyline makes it like want you to try to take a look at it.
I think the next one is also from the 80s, also from Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go on to next. It's called this one that we're talking about just before. It only got again 4.5 out of 10. So you see, that's why I'm saying don't really have to go with the reviews of people. You say that it's kind of a watch that I would like, so I'm sure others would like it as well. So okay, so the next one is called The Dead and the Deadly from 1982. So this is another one from Hong Kong. It's about Wali, I guess it's W-H-A, or sorry, W-H-L-I, right?
Yeah, Wally.
Known as Fat Boy to his friends, lives with his great uncle the priest. Together with his oddball friends Lai Li and Momo, Wali helps uncle to run the local funeral services. When the body Ma Lung Cho is brought back to the village by a new wife and her brother, Wiley is suspicious. He sets out to find out how his friend died, but things are not what they seem. What's happening?
So this one is another horror comedy movie, but different from the previous one. This one stars a lot of martial arts. So if you're into like Asian martial arts, this one is pretty good. And one of the leading actors in this movie is called Lam Ziying, and he's very, very famous in his how should I say it?
It's country.
Because basically,
In his country. Or in his field.
Country? His field.
Yeah.
He always plays roles that are focusing on like vampire busting, like priest. So and he has a lot of fans. So I would say if you're into him, you have to check this out. And this one is quite famous in Hong Kong, I would say. And I could almost say that this one is one of the best ghost comedies from Hong Kong. And like for me, I already watched this like so many times from TV. This movie, it just has like the right amount of humor, horror, and drama. So it's a very entertaining movie, I would say.
So you would say that this one is more of a must-watch than the last one, right?
I would say so.
Or just call it like a double feature night and watch both. Why not?
Yeah, watch both.
Right. Right after you watch Roadkill first.
Okay, then watch 3.
Yeah, triple feature. Okay, next one is Binding Souls. Now, I don't know if this one is from either. It seems like a combination of three countries: China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan.
I think the production actually happens in China, but it has like actors from Hong Kong and Taiwan, so it's like a co-production something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says here university students Feng, Victory, Mei Kui, I guess, Xiao Yu, and Ali are assigned to do special research in the Moral Education College during summer vacation. The school has been occupied by the Japanese to do cruel human experiments. They find an alumni record about ghost experience and also find that some girls were mysteriously disappeared. At the staff of the school, Miss Fang led them to know the environment. Then a chain of strange things happen in that evening, and finally they are forced to flee to a century-old tree. They unexpectedly saw the principal of the college dig out some bones under the tree. Are the bones and all the strange things related? Can the 5 people go out of the school safely? You tell me.
Okay, so I think this movie has a great idea for R-rated horror. So it's set in an abandoned place with a horrific past. About like 4 students, right? 4 students visiting a school before it closes down.
Right.
I think the movie tries so hard to provide mystery and suspense, but I didn't see any of this. The acting was really, really bad, and the twist you can basically see what's going on. Just no twist at all. And there is even worse, there is no fear for the characters. It's like they're just so. Maybe it's because of the performance. You can't really see the dark tone of the movie, and you just can't feel scared at all. And also the ghost design is so generic. There's no scary sequences at all, so I don't actually recommend this one.
So
No.
probably the majority of it was made in mainland. So that's probably why. All right, so
That's not the reason. And you know what? Actually, one of the cast, she's from Hong Kong, and she's actually quite famous. But it's just that the plot. I mean, overall, this movie is not that great, from my opinion.
So the other 2 are better from Hong Kong.
I'm just saying it from fact.
And
Okay,
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying if you're gonna like between the 3, the ones we just did, the 2 from Hong Kong and this one, you would say to watch the 2 from Hong Kong and the Korean one, right?
Of course.
That's what I mean. That's all I mean.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, but of course. Did you notice I didn't throw any Jamaica in yet into this conversation? Oh wait, I just did.
You just did.
The next movie we're going on to is called The Haunted Cob Shop from 1987. This one is also from Hong Kong. The police station used to be the army club during the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong. Many Japanese officers committed harakiri there on VJ Day. I have no idea what that means.
It's fine.
The old building thus becomes a ghost house. Petty thief Ming is detained in the basement. It is the ghost festival when ghosts are allowed one night's leave. The colonel shows up and bites Ming, who becomes a vampire. Is there such a thing in China as the ghost festival?
Excuse me, I couldn't hear you.
I said, is there really such a thing as a ghost festival in China?
Yes. Every July. I couldn't remember the exact date. So it's like, yeah, even during that month, it's not very encouraged to like talk about ghost stories or watch horror movies at home. But I mean, I still do. But like most people, they just don't feel like doing a lot of things that they think it might offend the ghosts. So during July, I say.
So it is a real thing.
The festival.
So is this one worth watching?
This one, again, it's like those type of horror and comedy, but this one's really funny and it's really funny, and it's also a little bit scary in sometimes, I would say, because I don't really feel scary that easily, but in fact, I think some of the scenes in this movie are really scary than those so-called pure horror movies. The plot is good and is quite intense. Also, with a little bit comedy, so it'll leave you laughing and makes the whole movie much easier to digest, I would say. One of the leading actors in this movie is Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so funny. He's just so funny. So, I mean, I didn't really feel too scary watching this, but I would still recommend it. It's especially for Hong Kong movie fans.
So another one of the first ones to watch this week rather than at the end of the week.
What do you mean at the end of the week?
Well, I mean, of all the movies that we're reviewing, you should probably watch this one like towards the beginning of the week as opposed to one of the last ones. It's worth watching more than it's not worth watching.
Of course, worth watching.
Right. So we're gonna go on to one that I think everybody should watch first this week, even before the Korean movie Roadkill. This one's called KFC, as in KFC, 2017, from Vietnam. A necrophilic doctor, a man wearing headphones, and a bunch of cannibals are just a few of the characters in this bizarre debut by director Living Jiang about the psychological effect of violence. This one, it's only 68 minutes. Very, very bizarre film, but I love this movie. What do you say about it?
This one is really, really, really good. Strangely, I feel the same like you do.
Yeah,
About
that
this.
is surprising for a change, right?
Uh-huh. So, did you remember, like, at the beginning of the film, the director put up title slate saying that it's not based on events in the past or present, and these events will never happen in the future.
Because he's trying to
Do you remember?
protect. Yeah, he's trying to protect the company, KFC.
And I really think this movie is like a mixture of art movie and horror movie.
And did you?
That's what I.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
Do you have a question or something?
No, I was gonna say, do you know why it's now called KFC and not Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No.
They got in
Why?
trouble because apparently it wasn't like real chickens or something that they were using, so that's why they had to change the name to KFC and not Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
Oh, so it's not chicken?
Well, before that's what they were saying, something to do about the chicken, so they had to change the name.
Okay.
They couldn't call it Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
Okay.
So you didn't know that, did you?
I didn't.
And if you ever check out the logo of KFC, you know Colonel Sanders. They show his face and then his little bow tie thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you check out the logo, you'll see on the bow tie it looks like there are actually two little arms going like left to right and two little legs. So he looks like a big head with a small body. So
Oh my god, that's so creepy.
next time you check out the logo, maybe I'll paste it on here when we put the
Okay.
video up. But yeah, that was just another tidbit for you.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's one of those like messages where if you really look closely, like the Toyota logo and all that. We'll make a video about that another day, but that was one of them, yes.
Okay.
The next one, we're going to Japan from 2006, One Missed Call 3, Final. So obviously it's a trilogy. We'll review 1 and 2 another day, but for today we're going to go with number 3. Emiri, a timid high school girl, is bullied mercilessly by her classmates, but when her friend Asuka stands up for her, Asuka becomes the target of the bullying instead. Emiri, not wanting to be bullied again, avoids Asuka. Worn down, Asuka attempts to commit suicide, but is saved by the school janitor and remains in a comatose state in the hospital. Kind of bad timing considering what happened this week with Hannah there, the wrestler. But anyways, let's focus on the movie. What do you say about this one?
I would say the first and the second were great, but this one was pretty good considered as what? The last one in a trilogy?
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah. Trilogy means the third one. Yeah,
Like 3, right?
yeah.
The series consists of 3. And I can't really find anything negative about this movie. It has like all the ingredient of a horror movie needs, and the acting is good. The script is good, and they even had a little bit of drama, romance in it. I think this one definitely worth at least a watch, if not more. This is not your average type of like slash and dash type of movie. It's really well made, and I can say that. Okay, so because sometimes when people make movies like a trilogy, they always want to just make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just like make a movie. They try to grab some money, but this one is really good because it just has a basic storyline and everything else. I think this one is really good.
I remember last week you didn't like too many of the movies we reviewed. So at the end of the video, I'm going to ask you like what are the five you would watch first. So just keep that in mind for the end of the video. Okay, you're only going to be able to choose five, but we still got a way to go before that comes. The next one from 2019, Lampor Karanda Terbang, and this one is from Indonesia. It says, finally, Edwin and Netta, together with their two children, Agam and Sekar, returned to the Netta's village in Tamangong, the village that Netta has left for 25 years with her mother, who was angry at her father's misdeeds. Netta must deliver the last message of her deceased mother to his father. Netta is greeted with suspicion and considered a calamity because her village is being struck by the terror of Lampor, a killing demon who is carrying a flying coffin. Sounds pretty whacked. What's going on here?
I think, before I watched this movie, I didn't really have a really high expectation because I think most of the Indonesian like horror movies they mostly just end up being pretty bad and sometimes like really really worse. But this one is okay. It just what makes me laugh about this movie is the fact that the third act and it's really well built and it actually satisfies me straight until the end. It has some jump scares in the beginning, but overall this film is not actually that scary. It's more like a horror-themed thriller rather than a full-on horror flick. And it's really nice to see that. The film centers on a urban legend type of story. So if you're into that type of thing, you should check this out. But I would say this movie could have done better. That's what I think.
Urban Legends, that was another movie that I don't know if you're into urban legends, but that was another movie now that I just remembered. That was really good. I think it was early 2000s. It was like a bunch of short stories about like, urban legends.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it from Japan?
No, it was American.
Do you know the name?
Yeah, it was called Urban Legends.
Okay, right.
I'll try to find you the year later, but yeah, it was Urban Legend. It was pretty good. For now that you just reminded me because you just said Urban Legend, and I forgot all about that movie. So this one is got to do with like an urban legend kind of thing, so it might be pretty good.
Yes.
Okay, so the next one, again from this one, Indonesia, 2019, Follow Me to Hell. The happiness of Lita and her husband Rama do not last long because Lita is often terrorized by the creepy female creatures. Rama brings Mr. Adam to clean their house from the ghost disturbance. Mr. Adam explains that this terror does not come from the house but from inside Lita herself. Mr. Adam gives a hint that the answer is in Lita's past by asking for an explanation from Sari, the mother she left behind. Sari is admitted to a mental hospital. Is this some kind of like a demon possession or something, or what's up?
Kind of. I think this one is not as good as I expected. It's good, but the movie just used a lot of traditional stories and not really like obsession or anything. I remember one scene her husband used an old myth onion to keep the ghost away or something like that. It's just, but I would say the missing point from this movie was at the ending part. The ending of the story was so fast that they have no ideas to fight evil and there's nothing they can do about it. And that's pretty much it. And that's the ending. So I would say it's an okay movie, not too bad. I just expect to see something more, But again, I think this one is also filled with Indonesian and traditional myth. So.
Well, between this one and the next one we're going to talk about, they kind of sound a little similar. So, well, you tell me more about that as we go on to it. This one is actually the only one from Malaysia this week that we are reviewing. It's called Kelibat, and it's a story follows a family who move into a new house and is haunted by a mysterious supernatural figure known as Kalibat. Kalibat did not just haunt the family physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. A Metro Wealth production film starring Fauzi Nawawi and Eli Suryati as the main leads. Is this similar to the previous one?
This one is more about. I would say so, but it's so surprised to say that. I mean, after I watched it, I still have. I still would think about this movie because it's just so weird because I didn't actually really like the characters in the movies, and the plot was just a very familiar old ghost story, but somehow it's just I think I did enjoy this one, and it just got something. Even I never did figure out even in the end what a calibat actually is. So I would recommend it if you're into old ghost stories that are more about hunting instead of gore or blood or anything. I'll recommend this one.
Okay, and then the next one from 1997, 24 Hours Ghost Story. I was trying to figure out if this is from China or from Hong Kong. Do you know?
Hong Kong.
It is Hong Kong? So, do you know what the alternate title is? Because I have it here written in Chinese, but I don't know how to say it.
猛鬼通宵陪住你.
That's the one, yeah, because it says it exactly like that. Say it again.
猛鬼通宵陪住你.
So that's like Cantonese, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so this one's a little bit long as far as what it's about, so I hope I don't ruin your review about it, but let me read this one and then you can tell me what you thought of it, okay?
Okay.
So this one says, Welson Chin Sing Wai spins this ghost yarn about a spirit who haunts the unsuspecting customers of a 24-hour convenience store. When clerk Mo Tai Ho starts hearing Peking opera coming out of the telephone, the freezers, and from the back room, he's sure he's going nuts. The fact that he is daily troubled by dreams dominated by a hideous ghoul isn't helping much. The sole person who believes him is a lonely cop named Charles Chan, whose mother is an expert on such poltergeists and who recommends the urine of a child or the tail of a black dog to stop such visitations. Both options fail when the ghost forces Mo to drink the kid's pee. This sounds crazy. And neither have the heart to mutilate a puppy. Desperate, they call on the help of a Taoist master who proves to be no match for the spirit. Will this lowly convenience store clerk manage to overcome his supernatural foe? Is it as wacky as it sounds, or what?
Yes. It's funny and spooky at the same time. Again, I don't know why, but back in the day, they're really into that type of horror movies, just with a little bit with elements of comedy in it. They just love it. And even though this movie is not totally one of a kind, I think it's like one of my favorites among the horror Hong Kong horror genre. It's just so it's so easy to watch if you know what I mean. It's funny and it also has its like scary moments. For example, the primary venue used may not what you expected, and the characters they're just so developed. I don't know how to say it, and it's like in general, Hong Kong horror often has that kind of one guru or mentor, mentor.
Yeah, mentor. Yeah.
So this one is no exception.
Exception.
It also has. Okay, thank you.
Just helping you along.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean,
and it also.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the climax of this movie is really good too. It's like very satisfying. It has a thrilling and spooky ending, and also the performance of Francis Ng. If anybody knew him, it's good. He's great. So I would say this one. I you know what? I don't mean to praise all of the Hong Kong horror movies, but the ones that you chose, they're just good. So how can I say otherwise, right?
And reading what that was about, if it was like, if I had no idea it was an Asian movie and just thought it was American, the first director I would have thought that made such a movie would be like David Lynch.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds like something.
Why?
Sounds like something he would make, like Eraserhead. What
Yeah,
that was
right.
like so whack too, right?
Mhm.
So this kind of movie sounds like it would be made perfectly for like a remake by David Lynch or something.
I hope so.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, I would definitely watch that.
Yeah, I know for sure, right? It sounds interesting as heck. The next one from Japan, 1959. I think this is the oldest one that we are reviewing.
Yeah.
It's called the Ghost of Mava Kagami Pond. No, actually, it's
Kagami.
just Kagami Pond. Never mind Mava Kagami. So this one is about a store manager named Kinbei becomes enraged when the owners of the store decide to hand it down to an adopted son instead of him. He hatches a plot to murder them all, but as it turns out, he has done this sort of thing before. As bodies pile up in the nearby Kagami Pond, a ghostly vengeance is about to be unleashed.
Comedy.
I know. Why am I trying to make this one a comedy of all things? But this one does sound pretty ghostly. What's happening here?
Mm, if you watched a lot of Japanese horror movies, you'll be familiar with the word kaidan. I'm not sure if you know that. So it's like kind of like a genre, like ghost stories from folklore.
Folktale. Don't swear. It's folktale.
No, folk.
Folk. Folk.
Did it swear folk?
No. All right. Just say F-tail or something. All right.
No,
But for
kaidan.
others, it's folk tale is what she's saying.
Folk
Folk tale. Folk tale. Folk tale. Okay. We got you. Continue.
Okay, so this one is just like one of that type of movie. It doesn't stand out as the best one, but it's not average, and it's not bad. And this one is pretty short. I think it's around an hour. So it kind of has a very standard plot. What really sets this movie apart from the other types of kaidan movie is the number of killings, because mostly for a kaidan type of story, you will have like one killing before the spirit starts getting revenge, but this time we have 4 instead of just 1 killing. So I think that makes the punishment a little bit entertaining. The acting is quite overacting, like a little bit exaggerating, but that's the usual with this type of movies. It's just the fact that kaidan is almost all adaptations from folktale.
Folktale. Right.
Okay, so it means most of the characters, they're just pretty simplistic. So you have to have that kind of exaggerating performance to portray their to portray them. So I would
Portray
say
them.
portray them. All right. All right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
not portrait of them, because you don't want to put it like a portrait on the wall of them, right? It's portray.
Oh
Portray.
my God. All right.
So,
Can I continue?
huh?
This is not what, an accent class or something? Can
Okay.
we just go on?
So we'll go to the next one, okay? But
Okay.
in all honesty, of all the movies so far, like we've done a lot of this week seems to be a lot of like horror comedy type movies. This one is definitely not, right? The one we just did,
No, the Japanese one, of course not.
right? Because I think the next one, we're going back to Hong Kong, and I think this is also another horror comedy type movie. But this one sounds kind of like one I want to watch, but again, it does have vampires in it, so I'm not really sure.
Oh, you know what? It's so strange because this happens to be the one that I would say is pretty bad.
Of course, so see, and this is why I was thinking I kind of
It's
want to see
not,
this.
it's not because that you said you didn't want to watch.
Can I read what it's about first, and then you can tell me why I think.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. It's called Vampire Kids from 1991. A tourist group is forced by an accident to stay at a deserted village. The travelers discover a big diamond and steal it. Unfortunately, the diamond is cursed and enables a monster to gain incredible power. He forces 5 vampire kids to bring him blood from the travelers in order to rejuvenate. The kids are unable to complete the task and are caught by the humans. The monster is furious and prepares to kill the little vampires and the travelers. This one sounds like it could be good.
Okay, so in my opinion, it's pretty bad. Not that the story has something wrong, you know. It's like there's almost nothing is explained in this movie. It never explained why these people, like where the ship came from, like why those vampire children have to seek more blood for what? For the old vampire to reawaken. It's just there's so many things that are unexplained, and it's never clear where the vampire kids come from. And in the end, there was an adult vampire comes to escort them away, and it didn't even mention like who he is and what is going on, and then the film just ends. So
there's not much of an ending there.
Yeah, and I really
No.
like. No. Nope. No.
Right? If I say there's not much of an ending there, then it would be no. If I said there is an ending there, you'd be like yes. But if I say there is not much, you can't say yes because. Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I don't know why this is turning into more like a lesson of something other than of reviews. But I don't know why you keep interrupting me every time I'm like trying to talk
I
about a
don't
movie. You're like, how do you say this? How do you say...
Do the reviews every time.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, there are no beginnings, no ends, no middles. Just all you can see is like just some fart jokes and cute kids in vampire costumes. So if you're into that, you can take a look at that.
Well, still looks all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one is from, I think, mainland China, because the language is in Mandarin. So it's called, from 1990, The Wedding Maidens. What's the alternate title on this one?
出嫁女.
All right, so do you know much about it? Because I just seen the cover for it, but it doesn't really describe much about it. What is it about?
What is it about?
Yeah, or like a rundown of basically what's going on in it.
Okay, so in a remote
Never mind the remote location. All right, this is a never mind. Go ahead.
I can't even say that word because I would just think about something so funny.
It's okay. Continue.
Okay, so can you stop laughing?
I'm not saying anything. Go ahead.
I can't. Just so funny. Okay.
Okay, just skip the word then.
It's there. I'm going to delete that. Okay. I can't do it. Can you just read what's going on?
Okay, this and the film Five Girls and a Rope are based on the same story by mainland writer, how do you say that name? Yi Weilin?
Ye Weilin, something like that.
Okay, so although the narrative is the same, specific details differ in these two films. In a mountain village, that's how you say it, 5 innocent girls are attracted to a legend about touring the garden. So what about, like, what's this legend? According to the legend, what is that?
Okay, so according to the legend, a girl might hang herself before marriage to preserve her purity, and her soul will turn into a white bird and soar to the heavenly garden where there's only beauty and peace. Sounds really crap.
But is that a tradition in China?
No,
Oh, it isn't?
I don't think so. I've never heard of that, but that one is pretty old, right? In 1990, so...
Yeah, because we talked about that festival of the ghosts. You said it was a real thing, so I don't know if this was like an actual legend or if it's...
Festival for the Ghosts is like a very... I don't know. Of course I would know that. It's a festival. You can't just like have a festival in the past 10 years and then a different one in right now, right? But I didn't really heard of that legend. So it might just like... I think that's the... That's from the story, so I don't think that's true.
So is it a watch? Would you watch this one, or what do you recommend?
No, I didn't even think about this one as a horror movie. Not even like a thriller. This one is just like a drama.
Well, this is a horror review, so it can't be a drama. But if you see it as a drama, but that doesn't make it a drama.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. Remote mountain village.
Okay. Well, this is not a remote location, or else we would never get through this review. The next one, I'm going to leave this one to you because, first of all, I can't say the title, and second of all, I think they're short stories. So if you want to just like break down what they're about, maybe that would be the easiest way. So start with the title first, and say it slowly so people can hear it.
Hold on.
Yes.
Can I just talk about this one and the following one together because they are basically the same?
No, do this one first.
Okay, I'm just saying I'm going to talk about them
Okay,
all together.
you can talk about both of them.
So I think the title in English is Tokyo Legends First Horror of Human Hell. Right?
I don't know. I just see it in the Japanese wording.
So do you want me to read it or what?
In Japanese. The actual title of the movie. If you're in Japan, you're not going to say Tokyo Hell Part 1, Welcome to Hell. It's in because it's in Japanese. If you're in Japan or you want to watch a Japanese movie, you're not going to say it in an English title, right?
Okay, so this one is, I'll try my best, okay? Tokyo Densetsu Yofuno Ningen Jigoku.
That sounds pretty good.
Okay, so it's like horror of human hell. And this one...
How do you know that's what it means in English?
Excuse me?
How do you know that's what it means in English?
Because Jigoku means hell.
Oh,
and
okay.
Ningen means human, so kind of figure that out. And I think inside this movie, there are 5 episodes, like 5 short stories.
Oh, I like those.
So you like those? It's pretty much like Creepshow, you know?
Yeah.
But you know what? This movie is actually adapted from a book, and it's not exactly like horror stories. I would say it's much like maybe it's like horror and thriller. It talks a little bit about it talks a lot about hentai, if you know what I mean in Japanese. Like those type of people, like freaks, I would say.
Okay, so how many stories are in this one, in the first one?
5.
What are they?
What are they? Is that a test or something? I think the first one is called Browse. So, you want me to like go over what happens in those stories?
Well, I mean, just like a sentence or two. You don't want to say too much because they're only like, what, 10, 15 minutes long each, right?
Okay, so the first one is called Browse. In a manga cafe, past midnight, the word "no number notice" appears on Kuri's mobile phone where she can read manga in a private room. That's basically it.
Okay.
It's very short though. And the second one is called Stall, an old gas station in the countryside where mobile phones cannot be connected. When he noticed a man wearing a dirty tie holds his spanner by a wall and stands. What is spanner?
I have no idea.
Spanner. Okay, and the third one is necklace. Nami sat on a park bench, tired of job hunting. Suddenly, a stranger puts a necklace on her neck and takes a horrible action.
Oh yeah, a necklace. In case you're going to ask me what's a necklace, it's a jewelry that you wear around your neck.
Of course I know. I'm a girl. Of course I know what a necklace is. Not a rope or something.
Go ahead.
The next one is called Night Road. So on the way home, when entering the usual narrow alley, there was a man standing upright and blocking the road. Wow, this one.
I think
I
so
think
far
like
all these ones sound good.
mhm.
I like the
And
one about the gas station too for some reason.
yeah, and you know what? The gas station one is, I think, is the most scariest among the five of them.
Well, read what the fifth one is first, and then you can say which one you think is the scariest. All right.
The fifth one is called Don't Eat. So this is a simple local love hotel. A word told to Kayo, who was called by Officer Tomita, "Can I eat your nails?" This one seems so crazy.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
You know what? You know what? It's like I just thought about the other day when you read the news about a guy who broke into a house and sucked the toes of the guy in the home.
You're right. Florida.
Yeah, right? And it's like as crazy as that one. So
Oh, that reminded you of that.
uh-huh.
Sounds like a
So-
similar vibe.
So among these five, I would say that the gas station one is the best.
But I mean, they're all short, so you can't go wrong if you watch them all anyway, right? Different
Mhm.
people will like different versions of it. So
About short stories.
you said the second one is, I mean, the next review is about basically the same things. 5 short stories.
The same is still like part of Tokyo Legends. And
So-
we still have like how many stories? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, still 5 stories in it.
Okay, what's that one called?
Okay. You want me to read that in English or what?
Well, you can do it in both again. Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, so in English it means Tokyo Legends II, Distorted City of Anomalies.
Okay, and in Japanese?
Tokyo Densetsu Yukandaike Toshi. Toshi means city.
Oh, it actually means the word city?
Mhm.
Okay.
Toshi. And
So what's Yoshi?
what?
Yoshi.
Yoshi. I don't know how to explain that. That's just like Yoshi.
Well, you could have just very easily said it's the character from, Super Mario Brothers. I mean, Yoshi, the green
Really?
dinosaur?
Really?
Yoshi.
Yoshi?
Yeah, the green little, like, dinosaur kind of thing?
I don't play any games, so I don't know.
Mario usually jumps on his back.
I don't even know what Mario is.
Oh, my God. That Mario is the Italian character. You know Super Mario Brothers? Mario and Luigi?
I heard about that, but I never really.
We better go
into
on to the
that.
reviews before this turns
Okay.
into a nasty turnaround really fast. I don't know who he is,
Okay.
but if he was from Hong Kong or Jamaica or Portugal or something, maybe you would know. Okay, go ahead with the review of this movie.
Okay, so the first short story is called Stuffed Toy.
Or Spain. I
stuffed
forgot to
bear.
even say Spain.
Huh?
Oh, look, she heard the word Spain right away. She's like, oh, wait, let me stop the review. Did I hear the word Spain? Getting all excited. Go on with the review.
Okay, so in the story Stuffed Toy, a stuffed bear with a dirty appearance has been sent to Shiho. Whether she throws it away.
Shiho, not S-hole.
I said Shiho.
Go ahead.
Alright. And then, whether she throws it away or throws it away, what's that? She just can't control her fear of being a stuffed animal that returns many times. Sorry, someone just called me. Let me just.
No worries.
Okay. And. Yeah, that's the plot. And the second one is called Outdoor. One box running on a path in a dense forest. Tomomi, who gets off the car because she can't stand the urination, needs help.
I think it means she's got to go to the washroom. I think what you're saying is she gets out of the car because she can't hold it any longer, so she goes into the forest to take a leak.
Okay, that sounds pretty much like me every day, and the,
You usually go to the forest to take a leak?
no, I'm saying whenever I'm in the car or something, and then I just
Oh,
go drink to too much water and then just want to pee all the time. Okay, the next one.
Too much information.
The next one is called Swing. Lisa is living alone when I woke up. When she woke up at midnight with a low-pitched sound of bang bang. Is that so funny to you?
No.
An unknown man was swinging in the room. Swinging in the room.
These sound pretty interesting.
This one sounds pretty like those stupid horror stories.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think they're stupid. I think
Right?
these sound. No, I said I don't think they're stupid. I said I think they sound pretty good.
they sound pretty good because they're stupid.
Okay, carry on.
And then the next one is called Ruins. 3 young men and women who visited the ruins just for fun have an unexpected horror experience.
Yeah, sounds good.
Pretty much. That's pretty much the plot of basically every horror movies. And then the next one is called Hotel. A man in a wheelchair in the hallway of a hotel has trouble getting into the room. Yuka, who talks to the man to help, is involved in an unimaginable situation. Yeah, I think this one is not scary. Just like it's not even like Tokyo Legend. What's legend about all this?
Well, they could have like an urban legend of in their country kind of thing.
No, but I don't know if those stories are based on true stories. If that's the case, it would be like more cool, you know? Even though not that scary, just a little bit creepy.
Yeah, but look at all the ghost stories and short stories on YouTube with like Japan, and it's always about ghosts and stuff, right? And they try to like scare the crap out of you. So maybe these ones are kind of along those lines, because again, they're only about 12 to 15 minutes long each.
Mm.
But I don't know, some of them are pretty good though too, because it doesn't like just take scenes and make them too long or whatever. Like sometimes it's just like sweet and to the point, you know? 12 to 15 minutes, good enough.
You can watch them during break or something, you know?
Yeah.
Just
like the shorts on YouTube, that's what I'm saying. So these ones sound pretty good. So each one has about or they do have five movies in each one, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally like a creep show type thing. Okay, and then the that was funny.
Yeah, the one is funny.
This one?
Because I don't mean that the movie is funny. I'm just laughing at the title.
Of the next one, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it up to you to say it again, because this one is no way I can pronounce this properly.
But can you try doing that?
What, saying it?
Yes, try pronouncing the title.
Well, the first word, I don't know it. I mean, it's so different from French. So tore.
Because it's not French, it's so different from French.
Well, because in French it would be like toit or something, but not like toire. I don't know.
Toile.
Toye no Hanako-san Shin Geiko Joban.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, how do you say it?
Toile no Hanako-san Shinken Joban.
Yeah.
Genji Joban.
Okay, do you know what it means if you translate that in English?
I think as Shingenji Joban, the last two words, ignore that, it just means it's a remake or something. And Toile no Hanako-san, it means Hanako is just the name of the person, the ghost. So it's Hanako in the toilet.
Oh, I want to see this.
This one is a remake, and the original story, again, is a very famous. Why is that so funny to you every time?
No, because I don't know why I want to see this one.
It's based on a very famous Japanese urban legend.
No, that's probably why.
A ghost,
Yeah.
a young, the spirit of a young girl named Hanako-san, and she usually haunts school bathrooms. So I mean, if you can watch the original ones, that would be better. But personally, I think this one is pretty good, considered as a remake. But of course, there are not many original elements, right? Given that it's a remake, so it's just it's just average. But I mean, if you're really interested in the story, you can try to find the original one. Good.
Okay, so but is it worth watching this one, or you just say watch the original?
It's so sad. There are so many remakes about this
Yeah.
story. There's so many movies about this story. You can go find another one, like a better one. You know what I mean?
So this one isn't one of the better ones, remakes.
Mhm.
No, this one isn't one of the better ones. So it would be no.
Really? Nope, sir.
All right. So now we reviewed 20 movies. I want you to name from number 5 to number 1. What are the must-watches like tonight or tomorrow? Before the other 15.
5, right? You said 5?
Yeah, start with number 5 and then work up to the best one.
I would say number 5 is this, hold on, 20 of them? I would say number 5 is 24 Hours Ghost Story.
Okay, that's what I would say. It's either that one or Vampire Kids is number 5. Okay.
Just like, okay, and the 4th one, I think, hold on, such a long list. The 4th one I would say is 9981.
Okay, I would go with the, Tokyo Densetsu Koyofu no Ninjin Jikikoku, whatever.
You have a stroke or something?
Okay, you say it then, Einstein.
I just did.
Yeah, go ahead, say it again.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Oh, the what? The human hell?
Yeah, I think so.
Tokyo. Repeat after me.
Tokyo's obviously easy. Tokyo. Asswipe.
Densetsu
Densetsu.
Kyofu
no.
no
No.
Ningen
Ningen.
Jikoku.
Jikoku.
So cute you say that.
Okay, so I'm not going to repeat all that. Okay, so that's number 4 for me. So you said which one was number 4 for you? The China one, right? 24 Hours Ghost Story.
That's number 5. Number 4 is
981.
Island.
Okay, number 3?
Number 3, I would say The Dead and the Deadly.
That's number 3? Okay, my number 3, I'm going to go with, oh God, Tokyo Densetsu Uganda Ekitoshi.
Okay.
All right, number 2.
Number 2, I would say Roadkill.
I was flipping between that one and another one. Okay, I'll also choose Roadkill as number 2. Number 1, I think we're going to both pick the same one.
Yeah.
Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
KFC.
Oh my God, KFC. Talking about KFC, I just have a bunch of personal stories related to it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're hungry for some KFC right now.
I know, like there are so many personal emotions when I think about KFC. So.
Oh yeah. I remember from our last few reviews, something to do about chicken, right?
Yeah.
Anything you can share, or is it a little too personal, or?
It's too personal.
Is it?
But it's not about chicken.
It's not about chicken, but it's too personal to talk about chicken. I got it. All right. Makes sense. Coming from you, that makes total sense. All right, so that's our review for this week as far as Blu-ray, and now we covered the Asian horror movies.
Can you try to pronounce the last one again? The last movie in Japan?
The Toshi one?
Yeah, the toilet one.
Oh, the last one.
The last one.
I don't know the first word. I don't know how to say it.
Toilet.
Toire.
Yeah, kind of, but not rare. Le.
Well, see, that's the Italian. Toire.
Toilet.
Toile. You say it like an L.
Because in Japanese there's no R.
So,
like they are.
Okay, so Toile no Hanako-san Shin Keko Joban.
Wow, this one's pretty good.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
Appreciate that.
See, I always give you praise, and you're like, don't say this, don't say that, don't say this.
Okay, here, I'll give you one
Go ahead.
praise, and you could remember it for the whole week because you probably won't hear it again until next week. Maybe if you're lucky, all right?
Mhm.
Hong Kong movies are cool. Leave it at that.
But you just praise about the movie. You don't praise about my performance, about me, I would say.
What about you? You did good.
This is so fake. Okay, never mind.
No, if you want me to really be like fake about it, I'd be like, you did amazing. All right? That's
Oh, isn't that
sarcasm.
the way all Italians say?
See, it's every time around this time you're so waiting for the dial tone, you know?
I'm not.
We will be back next Tuesday with the Blu-ray reviews, and next Thursday for another round of Asian horror movies you must watch this week. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and hit that bell icon. Be notified each and every time I'm making new release. For now, this is Mavakaga as well as Kai Kai, aka Jamaikai.
No.
Sorry for interrupting, aka Jamaikai.
No.
Jamaica. Okay, and we will see you again next time. Peace and love. Peace and love.
P and love.
For now, Mavakaga out.